Oh, good evening. My name is Danetta, and today I'm going to be giving a speech um, on writing a resume, and I'm going to tell you the importance of not using a template when you write a resume. Um, a resume template is a good guide, or it could be a good visual aid to reference when building your resume, but they should not ever be used as the sole foundation of your own personal resume. So my first question is, have you ever submitted a resume for a job and wondered why you didn't get the job? If you ever applied for a job online and nobody ever called you back, it's probably because they didn't like the format of your resume. I created a lot of resumes during my lifetime for myself and for others. I have designed and formatted resumes with and without a resume building template. In doing that, I have found that the resumes that I created without the templates were more effective in helping me and others to stand out and be noticed by prospective employers. Today, I'm first going to talk to you about the reasons why people feel they need to use resume templates to create a resume. Next, I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't, the good and the bad, from using resume templates. And lastly, I'm going to tell you how to avoid template usage and how to be more effective in helping you build a resume that'll stand out and help you secure a job. Everybody seeking employment or seeking a career change at some point in their lives is going to know how to use a resume. The problem is that all too often people feel they need to use the information used in the resume template or resume builder as a reliable method for creating their own personal resume to serve as a reflection of who they are to their prospective employers. When it comes to writing a resume, you can easily feel a bit frustrated. A lot of us do. People feel that using the template will make their resumes more noticeable to employers. The problem is that online builders write resumes intended to appeal only to job seekers and not to the employers. Formatting on the online templates also causes issues with the resume screening process. People use resumes for many reasons. According to an online article written by Malini Basal, a resume builder is a convenient way and easy way to use an interactive resume template, and it helps you create a professional resume with updated designs. Many people are not comfortable with writing resumes or creating a document of that size because, one, they lack confidence in the writing ability, they have a fear of rejection and a fear of procrastination. People are not comfortable with writing resumes themselves. Now, you're probably thinking about your own personal resume at this point and wondering if you need to make changes without the help of a template. You may also be wondering why this is such a big deal. Well, just hold on and I'll explain it to you. There are drawbacks in using a professional resume templates and resume builders. If you're using a resume builder or a template, it is possible to have other resumes that are just like yours. The resume won't be unique or personal, and it won't stand out to your employers. When you apply for a job online, your resume will most likely be screened first by an ATS system. That's the applicant tracking system, and that's the system it looks for keywords on your resume to pass the job on to a live person. So if you use a template, it's said that it's estimated that only 75% of 75% of applications are rejected if you use a template when you're trying to apply for a job online. So because if the ATS can't read it, it won't record your answers. So the percentage of you matching for the position that you're applying for, it goes down to very low or zero. And the resume won't ever make it to a live person. If your resume reaches the recruiter before it hits the ATS, then they won't be able to screen it within a few seconds. And that's important because when a live person looks at your resume, you only got 10 seconds to make an impression with your resume. Mm-hmm. So now you can see why using generic templates on resumes can be risky when seeking employment. Now we're going to look at how avoiding template usage will help create a strong resume that will stand out to the employers. Creating a resume without using a template provides many benefits for both you and a prospective employer. If you take the time to build your resume without using a template, you will have a strong, well-formatted resume that will highlight your skills, abilities, and will show your employers your own personal brand. Many prospective employers will get a very accurate depiction of who they are hiring when you create your own resume. I have a friend who works for the Department of Veterans Affairs, and she does the applicant screening for resumes for jobs. And when I spoke with her, she told me out of the stack of resumes she had, only 2 made it because they used the template. They were trying to portray that they did things that they didn't do. And so what we don't know is when they look at the scores, they can tell if you fluffing your resume just based on how you put your resume together. Oh, so wow. If you using the template, it's gonna put stuff in there that you know you haven't done. So they know it. You just don't know that they know it. Building your own resume is a unique document with no chance of another person's documentation being just like yours. You'll have a document that stands out. Using a template will make you stand out, and your chances on your application won't get cut, and it will be passed on to a live person. This is why it's important to build your resume from scratch. If you need help creating and building a resume, you can go to your local labor department or career center, and they'll gladly help you develop the skills you need to have to build a resume that you could be proud of. You can also search the web for virtual workshops on how to create a resume. If you're local, you can find me, and I'll gladly assist you. I hope you can now see the importance of skipping a template and creating your own resume from scratch. In conclusion, now I talked to you about why people feel like they need to use a resume template, the negatives and the positives of using templates, and how to avoid using these templates, and how it'll help you create a much stronger, more noticeable resume. When someone you know needs help with building a resume, you can refer to the resources that I stated earlier, such as virtual workshops, local resume writing workshops, and your local career center or Department of Labor, or even your local technical institutes or colleges. Question: what if you got offered the job of your dreams and you applied for it, and although you had the skills and experience and you knew you were the best candidate for the job, you never stood a chance because all of your attributes never stood out to the recruiter because of your resume? Better yet, just think of all the applications and resumes you ever put out, and think about why you didn't receive a call back or an invitation for an interview because your resume just didn't make the cut. I implore you to take the time to learn how to build and create your own resume. It's worth it. I'm going to leave you with a quote from Mark Twain, an American writer. The secret of making progress is to get started. Now let's get started building your own resumes.
Good job! Yay!